Hello and welcome. My name's Steve Beckles-Ebusua, the speaker with the orange tie. And guys, welcome to the Orange Room. I've not said that for a while. I was away last week speaking in Manchester and had an amazing time. But it's so good to welcome you into the Orange Room. Now, those that don't know anything about me, I'm a motivational speaker. Go to schools, colleges and universities around the UK, Europe and in the States. What do I talk about? I talk about belief systems because I do believe that beliefs determine what you gain in life. I also teach soft skills training as well. Now, it's been a challenging time. I mean, I think that's probably the best way to describe it. And we're still amongst it. And really what these sessions and what I've been doing since March, really just to help people, yes, get not just through this, but also to gain from it. So the whole idea of this really is really to help you and hopefully give you some tips and techniques throughout what I've learned and how I'm learning all the time. Now, what I decided to do as well, of all the books that I've been reading, what I've been doing is I want to share them with you. So 2 weeks ago, I was reading a book by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he was doing loads of stuff around the mind, and I shared some tips. Now, this week is now talking about a guy called Dr. Wayne Dyer. Now, I've known and read this, not known him, but I've read about this guy for many moons, and he is an amazing guy. He talks a lot about how the spirit within can make a difference for yourself. So I read a lot of stuff this week. I mean, I've been reading this guy for many years, but this stuff this week. And so what I'm going to be doing in each of my sessions is taking bits of what I've learned and kind of sharing it with you. Yes, I'm going to put my twist on it, but however, I think it's important to learn from the greats, and that's what I'm doing every week, and hopefully I can share that with you. So Dr. Wayne Dyer, and I'm going to be quoting from the book Excuses Be Gone. Okay, he wrote that book back in 2009, was a bestseller. Wasn't his highest selling book. The highest selling book was his Erogenous Zones, which was like a New York best-selling book, etc. But Excuses Be Gone, brilliant book. Carol Lilly, my mentee, she put a comment on about the book yesterday. Amazing book, Carol. And yes, guys, I recommend you just, with the stuff I do, just give it a try. Yeah, try the stuff and see what you come up with. So let's get the show on the road. Now, guys, you would have seen my strap line. I've always got strap lines, and I've got my propped, which is a pair of scissors. And the strap line was as follows. Is it your time to reshape your life to the shape you want, or so it fits you? Because now is the time to cut to the chase. And one of the things I wanted to symbolize is this scissors really, I think, symbolizes a lot of situations. Now, we all know that the tiers are now coming, all right? I say tiers, probably literal tiers, but we have tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3. Londoners majority tier 2, and obviously you've got those other areas which are tier 3. Now, the whole idea of this is really for us to look at how can we deal with this whilst we're in these lockdown situations. And this scissors, I think, symbolizes what you can do with your life. Let me explain. Now, this scissors has so much potential, yeah? But it takes me to actually give it whatever it wants to achieve through me. So in other words, your learning is there. You just got to apply it. And what I've decided to do is to give you 3 tips to kind of help you to think about what do you need to reshape in your life? What's all over the place? What needs kind of realigning? And hopefully, with the tips that I've read and obviously learned from Dr. Wayne Dyer, and some of the stuff I've learned as well is going to be useful for yourself. Guys, get a pen, make some notes. Hopefully it's going to come in useful. So, as I said by my strap line, is it time to cut to the chase? I've used the word C.U.T. C is the first one. Criticize less, understand more. Let me say it again. Criticize less, understand more. This is really important. Dr. Wayne Dyer says that no one knows enough to be a pessimist. I love that. It's so easy, isn't it, to criticize. There are some people spend their life just criticizing. And they kind of get off from that. Why? I don't know. But I don't want you to be one of those individuals. I want you to be able to criticize less, try to understand. And how do you do that? What you do, you literally stand back. And what I've realized is when you start standing back, you see a bigger picture. Something else Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say is when you change the way you look at something, the thing you look at will change. Let me give an example. If I showed you these scissors, okay? Now what you can see is just that side of the scissors, okay? If I was to turn it this way, all of a sudden you can see a different aspect of the scissors. And the point I'm making is that Dr. Wayne Dyer says when you change the way you look at something, the thing you look at will change. So instead of being quick to criticize, because that's all you can see, start changing the way you look at things. It makes a massive difference. And I think, especially in the environment we're in, where stress is really, really high, and we're getting stressed over so many things, what I'm asking you to do is don't criticize yet. Just understand it. And one of the tips Dr. Wayne Dyer said that if you or someone says something to you don't understand and you're very quick to criticize, and I love it, he says, say this, that's an interesting point. I've never looked at it like that. So what you're doing, you're actually giving yourself a chance to understand it rather than saying, oh, that's rubbish, it's not going to work. Oh, I've tried that before, it's never worked. Just try it for a minute, all right? Try not to criticize. The next situation where maybe we're quick to say no, don't. Just seek to understand it. And again, there's another quote from, I'm trying to remember his name now, but he said, seek first to understand before you can be understood. All right? So understand it first, okay? This can make such a difference in the way you behave. Remember the scissors? All you need to do is look at it slightly differently and things might change. You might understand why that person behaves the way they do. Stephen Covey was the guy that said that. Seek first to understand before it could be understood. Okay, so that's C. Let's look at U. Understand that you can't give away what you don't have. Now you might be thinking, that doesn't make any sense at all. Listen, here's an orange, of course, all right? If I asked you to give away an orange, all right, but you didn't have an orange, you clearly won't be able to give it away. Now you're probably thinking, Steve, you've got issues. No, I haven't. Let me explain what I mean. What Dr. Wayne Dyer is saying is that you've got to have before you can give. What he talks about is making up an itinerary of how much do you give to others? How much understanding do you give to others? How much kindness do you give to others? How much love do you give to others? Even those people that get on your nerves, how much are you giving? Because you need to give it in order to get it back. And this could be done so easily because we're obviously in a lockdown situation and social media has obviously just gone off the wall. But how many times have you come across a post that maybe you're going to like, but maybe they haven't liked your post? Or maybe you don't get on with them, or maybe you don't like them. But that doesn't matter. The post is a good post. Give. And you might be surprised because they might be thinking the same thing. All of a sudden, you've kind of knocked the momentum and then they're saying, oh, I'm going to like their posts from now on. This is really important because what then happens is that you start to receive. Yeah, and it's all about being able to give. Write an itinerary, as I said. How much kindness are you giving? How much love are you giving? How much understanding are you giving? If you're saying none for all of those, don't expect to get it back. All right, so that's the U. And the T, this is really important, take chances. Don't die with your music still in you. This is really important. Don't die with your music still in you. I did a talk last week, I spoke in Manchester, and I asked the group, the audience, where is the richest place on the planet? That's the question I asked them. So all the hands came up. Saudi Arabia, South Africa. And I said, no. The richest place on the planet is the graveyard. And you could hear a pin drop because people couldn't understand how possibly a graveyard where there's dead people is the richest place. I went on to explain is that in the graveyard is all the places where people have died that are potential authors potential people that could have changed their lives as well as other people's lives, set up their own businesses, changed other people's lives in setting up a creche to help mothers that obviously need their children looking after, or setting up a place where people are down and out, which could have made a massive difference. That's the richest place. Because so many people are dying without doing anything, without taking a risk. I spoke to a friend this morning and it was really interesting. He said to me, Steve, this is the time where I grow. I said, what? He goes, Steve, this is the time when I grow. Because this is where opportunity lies. And you might think, how can opportunity lie in a situation like this? This is when you have the time. You have the time, all right? You can sit down and work out what you can do for you can do that. You can complain and say things could be better, or you can take some action. Another quote, which I'm often quoting, but I read, is very important, is that risks determine what you gain in life. If you don't take risks, you can't grow. If you can't grow, you can't be your best. If you can't be your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, what else is there? Life is a risk. Everything you do is a risk. So what I'm sharing with you is now the time to do it. Remember that saying I often say, the best thing to do is the right thing, the next thing to do is the wrong thing, the worst thing to do is nothing. I need to take action on this. I love doing this, but what I'm doing is hopefully feeding to you what I've been reading for many years, and hopefully is going to make a difference for you. One person, two people. Very important. Let's do a recap. Before I do, a big shout out for Dave E. Williams, the guy from the States. This guy is absolutely amazing. Thank you for your comments, and a few of the other comments as well. Really appreciate them. Thank you much. Thank you very much indeed. So let's do a quick recap, which is very important. Criticize less, understand more. Stop criticizing. Just stop it. Just understand where they're coming from. It doesn't mean they're right. And this is what you could say, as Dr. Wayne Dyer says, is that that's an interesting point of view. I've never looked at it like that. Next time someone says something that you disagree with, just try it. Because then they might explain themselves a bit better, and then you might think, all of a sudden the scissors goes from here to here. Yeah? Next one. Understand that you can't give away something you don't have. Remember the orange? How much love are you giving away? How much kindness are you giving away? Let's turn this into a social media thing. After this, just go for all the posts that you like. You don't have to like things that, that you don't like. I'm not telling you to be dishonest. But look at those posts. Someone you don't know, doesn't matter, put a comment on there. Guys, we all know what it feels like when someone puts a comment on your post. You know what it feels like. So why can't you just do that for somebody else? Yeah, give it a try. Last one is T. Taking chances, give it a try. Take a risk. Don't die with your music still in you, because it's a travesty of your life and what your life is worth. I don't know you as individuals, but I do know that you have a potential, just like the scissors. This scissor has potential, all right? You just have to give it the ability to shape, to cut, to create. You can do that. Boom! Guys, thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed it. I do have some shouts out. A shout out for Carol Lilly. I know I mentioned her earlier on. She's my coachee. By the way, if you're interested in coaching, having a coach on myself, I've taken on a couple of people. Dave, thanks so much indeed, and Peter, having a great time with these guys. Only the past week I've kind of been starting off with these guys, and really it's a very flexible kind of relationship. But anyway, contact me, you can find out more about it and learn some of the stuff that I've got here, and hopefully I can help you. Also a big shout out to Ken Barnes. Ken's just awesome. Yeah, I was listening to his show. His show's on Monday and Wednesday, I believe. So please try and listen in. It's 7 o'clock start. Talks about health. Yeah, he's the lean mind body coach. He's just an awesome guy. Yeah, and he's doing some great stuff. Very similar to myself. We just want to get out there and help people. So Ken, keep up the great work. A shout out to Tamara. She's part of the OSSR group. Thank you so much for your message about where you're at tomorrow. We're all behind you and supporting you, and there's a lot of people out there that have to get together and help each other. So tomorrow we're behind you and supporting you. And finally, big shout out to my brother Kevin. Oh, Kevin, yeah, brilliant stuff. He's doing loads of athletics. He's running all over the place. I want a big shout out, and a massive shout out to my daughter, whose birthday is on Monday, and she's 8. And she told me since she was 7 that she was going to be 8. So I've known this for a while. All right, so it's going to be really exciting times as well. I'm on the radio, guys, on Sunday. We should have a special guest, so please listen in between 2 and 4. Tune in on OSSR. Guys, there's a great community out there doing some great stuff. And I say that because I'm part of it and I'm really excited about it. But, you know, the girls, Sarah, Neve, Tamari, doing some amazing stuff. And what this is about is us realizing that we can get through this together and have an amazing time afterwards. Can you imagine when this is all done? It's going to be crazy. Exciting times. Guys, second boom, boom. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have enjoyed it. Guys, if you want to watch some of these videos, I'm doing loads of them. You probably know about it. But anyway, go to YouTube, Orange Online Learning. I've got a plethora of videos covering loads of different topics. I'm away next week. I'm speaking again next week. I'm in Luton, speaking in Luton next week, so I won't be here. But what I'll do, I'll post a previous recording, etc., etc. But guys, please stay safe. I hope you have enjoyed it, and thank you so much for your time, and have an amazing weekend. Take care. Cheers. Bye.